of budgets, it don't reach 12.1 trillion naira. And you know, say my work now to interpret the matter then for now, So we'll move on to other issues. No magic will make Tinubu lose in 2027. APC Forum Chairman Zazaga replies NNPP. And then there was a bit tragedy today as Jigawa bride allegedly poisons food served at her wedding. Everybody, Otilo. Okay, Peter Obi now leading prophet of doom. APC fires back at him. There is also a response. There is also would also get you a bit of an interview with the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Lagos State, Gbadebo survivor, and the state of the nation too. Lagos, these are the hot topics that we have, but let's get started very quickly because we do not have time. So we'll begin with the rather not so joyful news about telecommunications in Nigeria. As telecommunications companies are waiting for the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, to approve their proposal to hike tariffs by 100%. This is according. So Mr. Toriola said in an interview, I think this was on Arise Television yesterday, that the tariff hikes, if approved, will enable them to sustain their business in the long term. That is, if they approve this tariff hikes, it will help them to keep their business longer, because it be like say business then they go well again for them to do the business with the current price that they charge on now. He says we've put forward request of approximately 100% tariff increase to regulators. Said Mr. Toriola, I doubt they are going to approve that quantum of increase because they are very, very sensitive to the current economic situation in the country. So he says, so you know, believe say they go even approve them. But Mr. Toriola's revelation came days after the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria said the industry faced a critical challenge requiring urgent attention. Its chairman, Benga Adebayo, said operators struggled to survive due to rising operational costs and significant and stagnant tariffs. So the MTN CEO therefore urged telecos and regulators to consider the current realities in the sector in approving the tariff, because you know, easy again. In fact, it says, I believe we are all in the same side. The policymakers, the regulators, are chairman of Alton, Benga, and the industry, because on our way be the policymakers more that they make policies we go help our business to survive. He further says we're united because we share concerns about a few fundamental issues. First, human rights are critical to driving any economy. Without sustainable industry, the broader economy and the well-being of the people will be negatively impacted. And telecommunications is, you know, about the largest industry that has very significant impact in our GDP. So if their job is threatened or the industry is threatened, then that means we are in a little bit of trouble. But joining me in the studio is Prince Francis Chilaka. Unfortunately, Mr. Kenobi couldn't make it to the studio today. Mr. Francis, thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
Thank you. Would you like to react to this fear of an imminent increase in tariff price by 100%? A whopping 100%.
Precious.
Sir?
A few days back, your president had a media chart. And in that media chart, he reeled out his achievements. He also told you how Nigerians are faring better. And he beat his chest and said, just like a lizard, that falls from a tree. He looks left, looks right, and nobody there to cheer him. He says, I will cheer myself. I told you just towards the tail end of 2024 that 2025 is going to be something else. It's going to be worse than what we have or what we had in 2024. It's already playing out. So imagine if telecoms increase their tariff by 100%. How much is the minimum wage? 70,000. So you, as you sit here, Precious, how much data do you use every month?
Hey!
That's the question I want to ask you. So it means that somebody who uses, say, 5,000 naira every month, which is not feasible, I'm just talking.
For the kind of job I do, I use over 20,000.
Good.
That is for my mobile phone.
Yes, I'm talking. No,
this is not for the one you have at home.
No. I'm talking of
because you would have fiber. At home.
No, I'm looking at the official now. The one you use. If you're using 20,000 naira every month, 100% of that is 40,000.
With which money?
Now, when you remove 40,000 from 70,000, what is left? You haven't paid school fees. You haven't bought books. You haven't bought electricity, light. You haven't paid for your terrestrial and all of that. So the whole thing simply shows you that when the National Bureau of Statistics came out and said your inflation is 34 point something percent, they were just making a mockery of the entire thing. As it stands today, if we follow the realities on ground, you know that your inflation rate is hitting 60% plus. But this is a country where, the truth is never said to the people. And those in government will always lie and lie and lie and then defend their lie. The poor Nigerians will be the one to pay for their, affluent lifestyle. So that is what is playing out. People are already complaining about the current situation. I said to you last year, I said, the differential or the reduction in the price of petrol was just a Greek gift. Because if it was not, by now that we have 2 refineries operating in Nigeria, working in Nigeria, the price should have come further down. But no, it's not. Don't be shocked that by next week, when schools resume, the price of fuel will go back. Don't be shocked, don't be surprised at that. So, what you're seeing right now is an indication that all is not well. Because by the time these people increase their tariff, it simply means that they want to disenfranchise a lot of Nigerians from using data and from making calls. This is sad. And, it's just one of the reasons why you see people saying, this is not the time reform. Because there's so much suffering in the land. The government should first of all address the suffering of the people before all these new approvals for increase here and there will take effect.
All right, so let's move on to another conversation very quickly. Okay, all right. So moving on to other issues now. A diaspora Igbo enthusiast Mazi Bastille Onwukwe has said that the scheduled January 10, 2025 national election of Ohanaeze and Igbo next week, by the way, presents a good opportunity for Igbo elect leaders who are passionate and desirous of offering true leadership for the emancipation of Igbo people or the Igbo nation. He noted that the sanctity of Ohanaeze and Igbo is the only remaining hope for the fulfillment of the Igbo desire in the socio-political quest of the people. In the same light, speaking about that, the family of embattled leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has said it had an agreement with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the release of the Biafran ex-governor that she, the son of President Tinubu, wanted to see me. I agreed to meet with him on the condition that the overriding priority and hence the fulcrum of the discussion will be to release of my brother. The meeting was held in Abuja in the presence of another individual whom I asked along to witness the deliberations and provide independent verification should the need arise. Sheyi confirmed to me that his father sanctioned the meeting and that I should consider any agreement we reach as binding on the then candidate, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In good faith, we agreed that I shall delay the outcome to my brother to reinforce the long-held tradition of IPOB not interfering with the conduct of elections, either through boycott or any other form of civil disobedience. This understanding was duly communicated to my brother, and he reaffirmed his commitment not to stop the elections or order any boycotts. Now, when President Tinubu as a candidate visited Owerri during his campaign, he too reiterated his commitment to facilitate the release of my brother if elected. We took his public statement as a tacit reaffirmation of the understanding I reached with his son. It therefore defies logic that nearly 2 years after President Tinubu has assumed office or the mantle of leadership in a country, my brother is still in detention despite not having any charge against him. It's been over 3 months now that Justice Binta Yanku recused herself from the case, yet no new judge has been assigned. So, Prince Francis Chilaka, do you think, let's begin with the leadership of Ohanaeze Ndigbo. Do you think that the new leadership of Ohanaeze Ndigbo could lead to a better agitation and perhaps political solution to the release of Nnamdi Kanu, especially considering that there's been a lot of accusation that the Igbos are not doing enough for the release of Nnamdi Kanu?
Well, when you say Ohanaeze Ndigbo, I am one of those who would say that Ohanaeze Ndigbo, as far as I'm concerned, is a toothless bulldog. That's the reality. That's what they are. Saying that the election, or whoever gets elected, will lead to the emancipation of the Igbos. Emancipation from who? When you talk about emancipating the Igbo land, you start with the governors. These governors collect money from the federal, yet you don't have roads in the southeast. These governors collect money from the federal, yet you don't have a rail system connecting the entire southeast. Are they not ashamed of themselves? What kind of people do we have as leaders in the southeast? I've always said that the reason why you have the likes of Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa and all those agitating is because they feel disenfranchised. They're not feeling the dividends of true leadership in Igbo land. So for me, it's not in the hands of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, because Ohanaeze Ndigbo is a cultural group that has no relevance. He cannot control a governor. Neither can he control an ordinary senator or a local government chairman. So when people come to make such utterances, they're just making it for themselves. They're not making it for any impact on the people. Any organization in the southeast that cannot speak truth to power, that cannot call out these governors, these senators, these honorables, are they not ashamed that the entire southeast is not connected by rail? Do you know how much pain would have been taken away from the people if you had a rail running from Lagos to the entire southeast? Do you know how many lives were lost as a result of bad roads and accidents? So please, Ohanaeze Ndigbo should go and rest. They have lost their relevance. They have lost their relevance.
All right. Would you like to address the issue of
talking about the issue of
yes,
Nnamdi
Kanu's brother, yes, and the pact with
whatever pact they had?
Tinubu.
Why is it that is now they're telling Nigerians? When this pact was entered into, why didn't they make it open? You go and enter into a nocturnal agreement, and now you are crying, woof woof. No, knowing the fact that Nnamdi Kanu was abducted from Kenya, knowing the fact that the government has always insisted that they will not release him, whatever pact you're entering into should have been made public there and then. So that when you're holding the governors or the president responsible, you know where you're coming from. After all, this is the same presidency that Labour is claiming that they had an agreement that if they accept 70,000 naira as minimum wage, that the price of PMS will not go up. But the government has come out to say, we don't know what you're talking about. We didn't enter into such an arrangement with you. So you're dealing with a government that is full of denial, full of deceit.
Are you saying that?
Yes. So whatever agreement you
Why
want
would
to
you
enter,
say so?
whatever agreement you
What's
want
your evidence to that statement?
the
Sir?
evidence I have is the one between them and NLC. Yes. All the promises Mr. President made to Nigerians. Where is the Agbado? Where is the Agbado he promised Nigerians during the elections?
But could that not be the NLC
Where is the
chairman's
Ewa?
word against that of the president?
Where is the beans?
We were not there when they made the agreement.
The one he said on TV and radio. Where is it? The insecurity that your vice president Shetima told you that he would take care of. What has happened? People are still being slaughtered on a daily basis. Nigerians in their own country are living in IDP camps and nobody is saying anything about it. You've forgotten that this same president said to you during the campaign that he was going to bring down the price of this petrol. Rather than bringing it down, what has he done? The thing has gone to 1,000 plus. And so they bring it down to 800 and something or 900 and something. Nigerians are rejoicing. Is it not the height of mediocrity? Tell me one promise this president has made that he has kept. If you want me to rejig your mind, you remember on the 29th of May, 2023, when he said subsidy is gone, he said those who have been benefiting from that scam called subsidy will be brought to book. Who has been brought to book? Precious.
Sir?
Talk is cheap. And that is all we get from this government.
Okay, so you do believe, are you saying that you believe Nnamdi Kanu's brother that it's true that most likely an agreement was
It is his own word against Sheyi Tinubu now. I mean, if they want to make a case, let them name the name of the former governor that arranged the meeting. Let them put the names of everybody that was in the meeting. And then let it become, let it fall on those. The honors will fall on those who were mentioned to defend themselves. You don't give Nigerians half truth or half information and you want them to react. If the arrangement was do this, we will free this person, why was it not made open? So let him let him come out and tell Nigerians who the former governor is, and the other person he said was in the meeting in Abuja.
All right, so speaking about governors and elections and governance generally, there's somewhere that Nigerians always run to in the United Kingdom during elections. And then the Nigerian, side of that body, it's now speaking of. The National Parents Teacher Association of Nigeria, NAPTAN, has condemned Nigerian leaders for contributing to the rise in exorbitant tuition fees at private schools like Charterhouse, a British institution in Lekki, Lagos, which charges up to 42 million naira annually. So once you say Charterhouse, you just remember the Chatham House issue in the UK. I had to use that as a bait. Forgive me. So now the controversy reignited after a video showcasing the school's lavish facilities surfaced. So bottom line, they're saying that Nigerian parents are the reason why schools can have the minds to do this. In fact, they said our leaders are the primary patrons of such schools. And by doing so, they criminally abandon public institutions. That is the problem with today's parents. Our leaders are the main patrons of such schools where high fees are demanded. 42 million naira.
Precious, don't.
It's not university, sir. It's primary, secondary school.
Don't affect
sir.
my mental health. This
Okay,
night.
sorry.
Calm down. I want to say something.
Sir, okay, sir.
Anybody whose child is in that school, anybody whose child is in that school and is a government official is a thief. It's as simple as ABCD. That is one. Anybody who works in the private sector, going by the present Nigerian economy, and the child is in that school, is also a thief.
Wait. So do you agree with private parents or so by saying that everybody who is a leader should have their children attend public institutions, public schools? That's a good way to go. Sir?
I'm a product of public school.
I am too.
Good.
Proudly so.
And I still say till tomorrow, of all those who have paraded themselves that they built Lagos, they should hide themselves and hide their faces in shame. The late Lateef Jakonde still remains the man of the years, and the man who really, really understood what it means to govern. This was a man who ensured that public schools were alive and utilized. It is these same wicked politicians we have now that have killed public schools because they all have schools that they are operating. And yet somebody will come out and tell me, I am revamping the economy. I am rejigging the economy. I am bringing life into the economy.
In fact, this is exactly what one of the parents spoke. He said the statement further reads that the late Chief Lateef Jakonde, Kayode Jakonde, did that when he was governor of Lagos State in Second Republic. He withdrew his children from private schools and put them in public schools in Ilupeju, Lagos. Good. The skies did not fall. It is when we demand that they would pay attention to public schools that have been criminally neglected in the country.
It is not that they neglected them, they killed it.
Oh.
Wickedness on the highest place.
Away.
They don't want the children of the poor to go to school. They like the way the children of the poor are roaming around the streets. Children of the poor. That is the kind of wicked leaders you have in this country. That is why you find out that, once you're a governor, your family members are part of the government house. Once you're a president, your family members are part of the villa. Once you're a senator, your family members and your children enjoying the best things of life. And then who do they tax to sustain their lifestyle? It is the ordinary Nigerians. That is why they find it difficult paying you more than 70,000 naira as minimum wage. And yet, as you and I sit down here today, your senators cannot openly confess how much they're earning because they're hiding it, and because of the shame that will come with it.
But that's supposed to be a public.
Your governors cannot tell you how much they're earning. This is a country where we're saying that there is no money. Mr. President says that the country would have gone down if he didn't remove fuel subsidy. Why has he not stopped giving governors security vote? Why has he not? You cannot come as a president and say you are trying to. People should be patient. People should be. You as a president, are you being patient?
All right, Francis, we don't have much time because we have lots of conversations to run on this evening. So moving on to other issues very quickly. Now, we did hear that the federal government's deficit spending have surged by 28% year on year to 12.1 trillion naira in the first 10 months of 2024, from January to October 2024. Now, analysis of data in the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN monthly economic reports showed that the increase was from 9.8 trillion naira recorded in the same period of 2023 to this further revealed that the federal government, in fact, bottom line, it got to 12.1 trillion naira. So it's increased. Deficit spending, that is money we spend. Could it be that this deficit spending now, this one that increased like this, that we still don't know where it's still not attracted in the budget where we got money for our private jets or our Escalade and all that? Could it be that this is where part of this fund came from? Because even the National Assembly till now is here to tell us.
When you have a system that lacks accountability, transparency, inclusiveness, you will have the worst kind of governance. Yes. Yes. You have leaders who are not accountable to you. They don't give a shit who you are. If some other person had brought this report, by now you would have seen all the attack dogs of Mr. Sen. Why are they not attacking the CBN? And in this country, when government gives you information, there's always half truth in it. If they're telling you information, there's always half truth in it. If they're telling you it is 12.1, you know that it is above that. If they tell you it is 15%, you know it's above that. They try to micromanage the situation in order not to make the people get offended and, put themselves out on the street.
Okay.
The government has also not told Nigerians what we want to know. That leads to fake news. That leads to fake news. when the government refuses to be open, you leave people to begin to make insinuations, begin to guess, and that is where you begin to have fake news. But government needs to tell Nigerians the truth. It won't hurt anybody. You don't tell us that the country would have gone down, the economy would have gone down, but your lifestyle has not changed. You saw how much they said they budgeted for the renovation of the houses of the senators in the FCT budget. So you now have Wike, who is now acting like a de facto president.
He's currently hosting people and politicians.
Yes, he's a de facto president. So Mr. President is there for the country. He's a de facto president in FCT.
I didn't realize you said so.
I said so, yes.
Oh, wow.
That's why he can wake up from sleep and build houses for judges. Now he's budgeting 10 billion or so for senators. The Senate is a self-accounting institution of its own. So FCT will budget for them. They will budget on their own. So who is checkmating who?
Okay, so let's move on to other issues very quickly. By the way, before I get to what the PDP said, the APC's response to NNPP and other matters, let's get back to, first of all, visit the response of the APC to Peter Obi's statement yesterday. As the All Progressives Congress APC has described the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 election as a prophet of doom. That the ruling party spokesman Felix Morka made this known in a statement yesterday, just after Peter Obi's statement. This comes as Peter Obi, in a press conference yesterday, Thursday, said Nigeria's economy and security challenges under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the past 18 months have worsened. Now, reacting, APC disagreed with Obi, noting that in the past months, they didn't state the number of months, past months, the country economy has made progress instead of deteriorating. According to APC, the claims by Peter Obi on the country's economy and security are misleading and intended to score cheap political points. Now, while Nigerians, quoting the statement, he says, why Nigerians celebrated the new year with hope for a more glorious 2025. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State.
Precious, stop. Stop reading the nonsense these APC people are churning out for us.
I have to balance no,
sir.
No, sir.
Why are they playing with our mental health?
With all due respect, sir.
Why are they playing with our mental health?
I will have to play back Peter Obi's statement, but let me finish what they said, sir. With all due respect, sir. Thank you, sir. So, furthermore, they said Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 elections, was seemingly stuck in a replay of his juggling gloom reading wish list for our country. That Obi's New Year message, in which he claimed that our dear country's political, economic, and security situation is worsening daily, is misleading and appears intended to score cheap political points. In fact, this claim is at the time when all indicators, according to them, they said all indicators show that our country is rebounding in significant measures across all sectors. He says, Aina says, cast Obi squarely as Nigeria's leading doomsayer. So they said. Now, they said all indicators show that Nigeria's economy is rebounding. But by the last MBS inflation rate, inflation is still at all-time high, as it were, even though the president has assured us through his New Year message that he would ensure that inflation is toned down. But let me quickly play back what P2B said. You know, it's good that we hear from what P2B said so that we can marry it to what we have today, and then and the response that the APC have just given before, so we can make a better and informed analysis. Take a listen to what P2B.
But I've made up my mind that if this is the end, so be it. Because we can't allow the country. It is difficult to be in opposition in this country. Extremely difficult. Because everything is against you. People don't even want to see you. They don't even want to talk to you. I see colleagues that greet them at the airport, they don't even want to reply because they feel they don't want you. Tax is a function of productivity. The country is unproductive. To tax 100 million Nigerians that are living in extreme poverty Are you going to tax those people I saw in IDP camps yesterday? Are you going to tax the factories that are shut down in Kano? Go to Bompai, go to Shadan 1, Shadan 2. Where are you going to tax? You take a tax and we can generate more tax. What we need now is to reflect the country, make it productive, and then we can talk about generating more.
All right, so there are a couple of other things Peter Obi said that same yesterday. He did mention the, in fact, he gave about 11 critical key points to the president, quite a few of them. Let me see if I can mention them. He said that our national indices tell a disconcerting story from what the president said. That Nigerians remain one of the poverty capitals of the world, with over 100 million people living in extreme poverty, 150 million people in multi-dimensional poverty. Some people are saying that it's actually more than 150 million people living in multi-dimensional poverty. For those who do not understand, multi-dimensional poverty is when you face poverty of different aspects. Like you face poverty of education, where you cannot access education. You face poverty of healthcare, where you cannot access healthcare. You face poverty of lack of nutritional food, where you cannot eat balanced diet or nutrition. So people are saying that more than 150 million Nigerians are facing multidimensional poverty. So he said the situation has deteriorated significantly over the past 18 months under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I could not go further with this. I can't right now. He also suggested on ways that the president can move forward. He said the president should patronize Nigerian hospitals in his next medical trip. Like, should go to patronize Nigerian hospitals. He should spend his holiday in different countries. He can feel the impact. He should travel by road and see the state of our roads, so he can feel the impact. And hence that response from the opposition, the ruling party, the APC. I wanted to also quickly get a sound bite from the Labour Party's governorship candidate for Lagos State. But let's take a response with Peter Obi first, then we'll get to
a few months back, I remember the president directly or indirectly said that those in opposition should come, let them put hands together and build this country. Unfortunately, the presidency talks from two sides of the mouth.
No, please, sir.
I didn't say president, I said the presidency.
Okay, sir.
Talks from two sides of the mouth. In one breath, they're asking people to give them suggestions and make inputs on how to build a better country. In another breath, they attack dogs. Will tear you into bits and pieces for any good suggestion you make. If this presidency claims that the country is rebounding or the country is coming out of the woods, so to say, why do we still have within Nigeria Nigerians living in IDP camps? Why? Why do
they should have been going back to their houses by now?
They should go back to their ancestral homes. These are predominantly farmers that have been chased away from their farmlands. That is on one side. On the other side, we're not asking ourselves questions. How are we going to feed in 2025? When a lot of farmers have not been able to access their harvest since last year, those who have tried to, they either get kidnapped, killed, and those who are ready to pay levy to the bandits are given certain areas to do their harvesting. So where is the food going to come from?
All right.
I'm talking about. On the other hand, this is the same government that had said they were giving a window for people to import grains into the country. And the thing, duty free, nothing happened. Not one box was brought in. I'm already in January. Schools are resuming on Monday. Do you know how many children that will not go back to school? When we say that there's suffering in the land, we're not joking about it. It is written on the faces of all Nigerians. And for those who are saying that Nigerians were happy during the new year, maybe they lost touch with reality. I saw you here when you made an announcement that you wanted to celebrate your birthday and that you were going to help people with medical needs. I know how many messages you got. Is that the kind of situation we want in this country?
All right. So let's quickly take the reaction of Road Driver in a separate interview about the state of the nation, and especially reacting to the president's 1st of January speech, where he did say that things are looking up, inflation will reduce to at least close to 15%, and all this. Let's take his reaction to it. Take a listen.
For me, I would, the president is saying, if he was also experiencing Nigeria for what it is to the common man today. You have hardworking Nigerians, hardworking market women, hardworking people all over the country that are experiencing extreme levels of hardship. Meanwhile, you are seeing in a budget where there is almost 22 billion budgeted to maintain the State House, another 4.6 billion budgeted to buy new bulletproof vehicles. So you literally see a political class that's being pampered with the commonwealth of our country. Meanwhile, the people are experiencing unprecedented hardship. Today, over 70% of people's income is spent on transportation and food. They've not even started to think about how they're going to be able to afford accommodation. So we have a situation where there's a culture of wastefulness, extravagance that does not reflect the dire economic situation that the same president is pushing out that needs to be reformed. Reformation should be in the interest of the people. At the moment, the only people that seem to be benefiting from these reforms are maybe the bankers because of the FX windfalls, or the people in government and the president's friends. How many Nigerians can say that they are benefiting from any reform right now, or can say that the quality of life has increased in the last couple of years?
He's saying that this is a temporary...
Also feel the pain. The political elite should also feel the pain, and we should see it in their budgeting. There should be no reason why 22 billion is being budgeted to maintain the State House. There's no reason why they should still be buying cars, right? There are other governments around the world that politicians and people in power are using their own personal cars. What car does the president want to buy today that he does not
Labour
already
Party
have?
in the
right?
2023
so
governorship election in Lagos State, Mr. Agbadebo Rosvival. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Happy New Year, I must say.
Same to you. Same to you.
Where do we start from? So let's begin with the obvious. Some of the things that you've seen. We're going to do two things. Basically looking at things from the national as well as the state level. But let's begin with some of the remarks of the president. The president has spoken just yesterday, and it's that message of optimism again. He said Nigerians should be optimistic, but it's being very consistent with his position. I've always told my guests this. He's not changing his position. He's not removing PMS subsidy. He's not subsidizing FX. He says this is the right way to go as far as he's concerned for a better future. But what is in reading that statement, if you had opportunity to look at that statement, what is your takeaway and what do you look at?
So for me, I would be able to take what the president is saying if he was also experiencing Nigeria for what it is to the common man today. You have hardworking Nigerians, hardworking market women, hardworking people all over the country that are experiencing extreme levels of hardship. Meanwhile, you are seeing in a budget where there is almost 22 billion budgeted to maintain the State House, another 4.6 billion budgeted to buy new bulletproof vehicles. So you literally see a political class that's being pampered with the commonwealth of our country. Meanwhile, the people are experiencing unprecedented hardship. Today, over 70% of people's income is spent on transportation and food. They've not even started to think about how they're going to be able to afford accommodation. So we have a situation where there's a culture of wastefulness, extravagance that does not reflect the dire economic situation that the same president is pushing out that needs to be reformed. Reformation should be in the interest of the people. At the moment, the only people that seem to be benefiting from these reforms are maybe the bankers because of the FX windfalls, or the people in government and the president's friends. How many Nigerians can say that they are benefiting from any reform right now, or can say that the quality of life has increased in the last couple of years?
He's saying that this is a temporary pain for
then
a
he
greater
should also
gain.
feel the pain. The political elite should also feel the pain, and we should.
Presidents leading by example, and feeling the plight of being the example and the patience that they want people to.
The other time we were talking about this, I think somebody in presidency talked about the sacrifices made by Singapore and all of that. The people of Singapore. But they didn't tell us the sacrifices made by their leaders. Our leaders should be in the forefront of leading the campaign. You can't be a pastor and you're asking your church members to be fasting, and meanwhile you come to the altar bringing chicken and start eating in front of them. And this is what
Is that what is happening?
This is what our leaders are doing. They're asking the ordinary poor Nigerians to fast. Meanwhile, they are not fasting. They are living large. For them, it doesn't matter. How many of your senators will travel from Lagos down to Owerri using the roads? How many of them? Are you trying to say that Mr. President does not know that the roads are not motorable? Or is he trying to say that he doesn't know that electricity is electric? Or is he trying to say that he doesn't know that a lot of Nigerians are living under the bridge? So these are, things, when people say it, those who speak for Mr. President will come after you and they will start giving you 1,001 excuses. They'll start telling you, no, it doesn't work this way, it doesn't work that way. But the truth is that our leaders are not living by example. Our leaders need to begin to live by example. And that is the only way they will make sense to the ordinary Nigerians.
Okay, so, all right. Oh dear, goodness me. Lagos phone lines are open 0700 903 903 903. But before we open the phone lines, there are complaints that people didn't quite hear most of the things you said earlier. Apologies, I think there was a technical glitch. Would you kindly help me recap what you said?
Well,
please?
what I was trying to say before, if they didn't hear, is that what Vivo has said is not different from what every Nigerian is saying. And I said that if as a man of God, as a pastor, this is the period of fasting. Some churches will say we're doing 40 days, some doing 30 days, some doing 25 days. It's like a competition of fasting. And then the general overseer of the church that has declared 6 to 6 fasting comes to the church by 10 a.m. with a full chicken and is eating it in front of his church members. What message is he passing? This is what our leaders are doing. They're asking Nigerians be patient, endure, but they are not willing to endure. They are also not willing to be patient. They are also not willing to make sacrifices.
But the president has said that they too are making sacrifices.
What sacrifices?
Remember that he
making?
cut down on the size of his entourage for trips.
Is that what is
so.
that? You have over-bloated governance. You have over-bloated ministers. Everybody's saying to you, as a president, if you think you want to bring down the cost of governance, cut down your ministers. Is he doing it? Since this president came to power, a year, going to 2 years now, so how many international trips has he made? Is it that he doesn't have people lower than him, or ambassadors, or attaché that he can send
In fact, in that
to do
message,
this?
Peter Obi even said that he spent 30% of the period that he spent so far traveling.
So why do
If
you
you
have
calculate
ambassadors?
it.
Why do you have ambassadors? Why do you have foreign missions if you cannot use those people to reach out to your so-called investors? How can you be asking people to come and invest in a country that they're not even sure of the security of their lives, talk less of their investment? And then somebody will open his mouth and tell you that you are demarketing Nigeria. I said, no. Nobody wants to sit on this side and demarket this country. This is a beautiful country. Unfortunately, it is our leaders that are demarketing this country. By their actions, by the way they embezzle funds, by the corruption they have institutionalized, they're the ones demarketing the country. Not just the others. Because what do the ordinary Nigerians want? What do you want? Enabling environment for you to thrive, that's all. It is because of the enabling environment that all Nigerians are jackpying. Nothing else. In this country today, if you're earning 500,000 naira, it's of no use. It's of no use. This is a country where governors will rule a state for 8 years, bastardize the resources of the state, embezzle as much funds as they want, institutionalize poverty. And what happens to them?
So going back to the words of Pastor Tomi yesterday, do you agree with him that Nigerian leaders are treating the youths like idiots?
They're not treating
Excuse
them
my
like,
language.
they're not treating them like idiots. They're treating them like dogs.
Hey,
Not idiots. They're treating them like dogs. And that's the truth.
Why
They're
do you say so,
They're
sir?
stempling on everybody. They believe that the only usefulness the youths are to them is to grab it, snatch it, and run. That is all they believe. And unfortunately, some youths have, given up on life, so they just don't care. Just as the youths have given up on life, the men of God too have gone to sleep. Yes.
What have they got
They
to
are
do
not.
with this?
Yes, they should be speaking truth to power. How many of them are speaking truth to power? How many? When they were all seeing visions of a better Nigeria, did they see the vision that the fuel will get to 1,000 plus? Did they see the vision that Nigerians will die in stampede over rice? They don't. Suddenly, everybody has kept mute.
All right. So speaking about leaders very quickly. So there was an award earlier today for young leaders. As young leaders across Africa that are thriving for change, breaking barriers and transforming their communities were awarded. It was on the 12th edition of the Future Africa Leaders Awards celebration, where 10 exceptional individuals aged 19 to 25 years were recognized for innovation, resilience, and impact. There's something very resourceful about this particular award because a young lady from Cross River State, Nigeria, one of the awardees, is making a lot of impact, where she was able to rescue young girls who were already earmarked for trafficking and reformed their lives and send them back to school. And that's why this conversation is very important to me. Now, these leaders are tackling critical challenges in health, education, and social development, showing that Africa's future is in strong and capable hands. Well, I don't know if I'll have the time, but my reporter from our television station covered the event, and she had a lot to say about this. It would be nice that we listen to it. Take a listen.
A new generation is rising. Young leaders, visionaries, and change makers determined to shape the future of the continent. The 12th edition of the Future African Leaders Award celebrates excellence, innovation, and impact.
The Leadership Initiative Awards, that's where they start from. And on that platform, there are many levels. Well, not many, quite a number of levels that they're expected to participate in different activities. So it's from there, we have many entrants from different persons in different fields. The fields we look at include agriculture, education, entrepreneurship, technology. We also have advocacy, that is youth empowerment, and when agriculture, when they come in, they have the opportunity also to have mentors attached to some of them to help them with some of the activities that they are involved in. They have to be seen to have done the work, and of course the branding of the leadership initiative with VALV has to also be prominent so that we know that they are actually doing this for as an extension of the assignment or the projects that they are being assigned to do for the Future Africa Leaders Foundation.
This award is open to all young Africans, regardless of background, recognizing those who are transforming life and inspiring change.
I address environmental issues, I promote healthy living, and I empower also youth in education and innovation. So to go further, I can say that I champion organic and sustainable agriculture by investing in production of the biopesticide.
The star prize winner is Juliana Ariere from Benin Republic, who invented a non-fluoridated toothpaste. Our innovation improves oral health, agriculture, and environmental sustainability in our community.
I'm involved in agriculture sector to the Future African Leaders Award 2024. I champion the organic and sustainable agriculture by investing in the production of the biopesticide. So I produced two types of biopesticide, the bioinsecticide and the biofungicide nematicide. I first of all make a research on the role that the fluoride play in the toothpaste and which can be the replacement. So I found out the different ingredients that can be replaced by fluoride, and I found them, and I made the Moringa Fresh toothpaste.
Also, a 19-year-old Favor from Cross River State, Nigeria, has saved 48 lives through our impactful initiative in our community.
This means so much to me. First, the privilege to be a part of the top 10. And so we've heard that millions of people have applied for the Future African Leaders Awards. To be part of the top 10, it means I've been on the right track. And first, I remember how I started. As a 16-year-old girl, no one would actually listen to me because of how I looked. Coming to tell somebody, oh, your mother, you must do this, pay attention to your girls. They were wondering, what do you know? So with time, people just realized that I was a voice that needed to be heard. So it means so much. The opportunity has put me in a place where people would definitely listen to me. To be a part of the Future African Leaders Awards or to even be a winner, it means you've been doing so much, and for my age, it is a great privilege. I'm grateful.
Fred Atef from Egypt has lifted his community through various programs, providing hope and sustainable solutions.
I care about humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aid is meaning a lot for me. When I was young and when I was child, I see my family is so help to people and things like that. So I entered the church and I grow the church and I found a lot of people care about a lot of people. So I just want to be part of that, and I start to make my project that I distribute boxes. These boxes to the people who is in need. These boxes have a lot of things. It's not cooking, it's for cooking. Like rice, for protein is meat and oil, sugar, tea, things like that. And macaroni also. That boxes is give it to those people who they need, and these boxes is reach from 4 to 7 people for 2 weeks. Those people who in need. So that's good.
The Future African Leaders Awards continue to highlight young leaders driving positive change across the continent. the future of Africa is truly in capable hands. Oyedemola Olukuto for Voice of the People TV.
All right, thank you so much, Oyedemola, there, our reporter for VOP TV. So one of the things that interests me, we could not just go through some of the conversations. By the way, this awards is put together by the Believers Love World Church. But the good thing, one of the things that attracted me is the fact that this is devoid of church or denomination, because some of the winners are from Muslim countries like Morocco, Syria. And these people have had innovations. Now, the young man in Morocco, for instance, says that he was passionate about enlightening youths in Morocco about politics so that they would get to be abreast with politics and begin to hold their political leaders accountable. And this means a lot to me. And then the young lady in Nigeria too, who has been able to use her voice for advocacy in Calabar Cross River State to ensure that young girls that are already earmarked and already bundled for trafficking are now rechanneled to better things. The reason I raise this is that how do we begin to channel our youths to make impactful changes? Some of these young people are already developing AI programs that are using to cause effective changes and innovations in their different spheres of life. The young lady who is the winner, you heard her, she's not even a scientist or anything, but she's developing pesticides and non-harmful pesticides. She's able to develop a toothpaste that is fluoride free, void of anything that is perhaps harmful. How do we encourage our young people? That young lady is just about 19 years old. All of them are between 19 and 23 years old. How can we have leaders to encourage people like this
Precious.
in Africa? Sir?
Precious.
Sir?
Sincerely speaking, I'm impressed with the award. But I'll tell you this. Nigeria is not bereft of such young people.
We do. Nigerian is a winner. Is one of the
I said
winners.
we're not bereft.
We are not bereft of it,
Yes.
sir. Yes.
So Nigerian has a lot of potential, especially with our younger generation. We have a lot of them. But don't forget, the stunted growth of this nation is the problem. Our political class, bad governance, greed, selfishness. These are the things that are pulling us down. Nepotism, tribalism.
But China is paying attention to its youth because these are the people who have the energy to do the work. And these people have also helped transform the economy of their country.
You and I, when you started, you talked about a school where they're paying 40-something million.
Yes, so 42 million naira.
How many Nigerians can afford that kind of school? So it's all about the environment, creating the enabling environment for people to showcase what they are, who they are. You go to some schools, even in Lagos, public schools, you'll be shocked. There are no chairs. There are no laboratories. There are no libraries.
So the right environment to bring about the right innovation.
So if you say you want to start going to educate the Nigerian youths about their fundamental human rights, where are you going to start from? And that's why I said, maybe we should start with the churches, because that's where a lot of people come to. That's where you find a lot of youths. Yes. Rather than all this preaching about tithes, preaching about offerings, preaching about healings, preaching about, let us begin to preach about our fundamental human rights, our social contract with our leaders.
A church created this initiative, for instance.
I mean,
devoid of religious
yes. So we need more churches to do more.
All right,
It is in the churches you find the Nigerian youths. Let us take this message to the religious organizations, be it a mosque, be it a Christian church. Let us just use this avenue to reach out to young people. I'll tell you the truth. If the younger generation of Nigerians are well informed, well educated about their rights, civic rights, about their social contract with the government, I am telling you, nobody will rig election in this country.
Like the young man in Morocco is doing.
Nobody will rig election in this country. Nobody. And I will tell Nigerian youths this, whether they like to hear it or not.
So they will understand that if they're helping politicians rig election, they're hurting themselves.
If you are 18 years and above, and you do not have voter's card, and on the day of election, you are busy playing ball on the middle of the road, you are the reason why we have bad people as leaders.
Ew. Do we have bad people as
We
leaders?
have terrible people as leaders. We have quite a number of them. They know themselves. But if all the young people come out and vote, let's assume in your polling unit, there are 500 registered voters, and the whole 500 come out to vote, it will be difficult to rig the election. It is when 150 come out to vote, you are leaving 350 behind. That 350 behind is what is used for rigging.
But concerning rigging election, the PDP has APC has come to say that no magic will ever make President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to lose election in 2027. Not single female can lose. Say no matter all the opposition, if they like, let them come together and bundle themselves. That Tinubu cannot lose election because his reforms would have worked at that time, and Nigerians would have seen the benefit, and they would all support him and vote him.
Precious.
Sir.
When Jonathan, a run up to the 2015 election, isn't it? You remember, I think it was the former chairman of PDP then, what's his name? I've forgotten his Obulafo. Late. I think he's late now. Vincent Obulafo. He said that PDP will rule Nigeria for 60 years. When it got to the run-up of the election, and Bola Ahmed spearheaded the formation of APC, nobody believed that they would take power from PDP. But they took it.
All right.
So if everyone, the likes of Peter Obi, the likes of Kwakwanso, the likes of Atiku Abubakar, if they believe in this country, just like they are professing to, if they believe that they can take this country to the next level, they also need to come down from their high horses. All right.
Thank you. Lagos phone line 00700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. The WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. Let's take a very tiny little break. When we come back, we'll begin to take your calls and reactions just after the break. Stay with us.
There are moments to live, create and make believe. If it ain't graceful like royalty, trust your gut, it's not regal. Feel it flowing through. Tastes so good, so you let go and let your spirit thrill your senses. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe. We on some chilling things. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a new experience. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. So smooth and rich. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe.
Introducing Regal Deluxe Gin, a new taste for an enjoyable drinking experience. Drink responsibly. Regal, a natural gin crafted for your experiences.
Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
The Evening Rush.
Hear that? That's ice cubes falling into a glass. You're burning for a drink. A shot of that Regal Deluxe will do. You need that smooth chill down your throat. That tingle in your senses that makes you shut your eyes. Before you take a sip, you like to watch the spirit mix with the ice. You bring it closer. You taste it. That right there, that was a smooth moment. A redefining moment. Open your eyes and enjoy the new Regal Deluxe, a gin-flavored spirit drink. Regal. Crafted for your experiences. Not to be sold to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
The Evening Rush with... All right, Lagos, Nigeria, welcome back. 0700 903 903 903 0817 175 6338. Hello, good evening.
Hello, madam.
Good evening, sir. Help us quench the voice of the radio now. Huh? Your name is what, Joe?
My name is Good from K2.
Oh, you're welcome. Go ahead. I didn't quite get your name, but I have someone on hold, so just go along. The person I have on hold on WhatsApp is waiting. Go ahead.
All right, sir. I've been listening to your program, so I just want to stay with you.
Oh, yeah, they talk now.
My name is Hope, calling from K2.
Okay, welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Happy New Year, sir.
I heard everything that you said. I just want to say one thing concerning what Honorable just said. most of the time we are facing in this country is through our bad leaders. To be honest, pastors also have their own roles to play in this country. Because we are now in a country where members of the church now love their pastor more than God. So I think the more the pastors start thinking about the situation of the country, because that's the last election, almost people from many churches just started from thinking that their pastor that they should vote for. This is according to what their pastor says. So I think they should start telling the people the truth. Let us focus on reality and know where our parents is coming from. And we just wanted to make sure that the past.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Okay. Hello. Good evening. Apologies. Yeah, I have you on hold. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, Precious. Happy New Year to VOP.
Welcome. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, this is my first time calling into your program.
Hell. Congratulations. And Happy New Year to you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Precious.
Please remind us
I
your name.
wanted to ask.
Okay.
My name is Patrick. I want to ask you
Patrick,
a question.
where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Italy.
Okay, welcome, Patrick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. Do you believe in holding government accountable?
Yes, I do.
Then stop shutting people down.
No, I don't shut people down. I'm doing my job, brother.
You know, I know you are doing your job.
You see that thing where they preach, no just bother.
Okay, now let's move to
in the first place, if I don't hold government accountable, I won't raise conversations that should hold them accountable. I mean, it's whatever I call the news is the news.
You know, side they follow you.
So not they preach to choir, God, forget that one. Just move on, right on.
Okay, now let's move to another discussion I want to hold.
Okay.
Yes, it has to do with the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu younger brother and his pact with Sheyi Tinubu. Unfortunately, we have seen situations where the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu younger brother in question have made so many attempts to undermine the structure that his brother Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put in place to govern the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra. And that is the reason why you see them going about secretly holding park with politicians and trying to do deals behind the closed door. And these are some of the consequences of such secret deals. Because this agreement that they had with Sheyi Tinubu were just, I don't know if it were documented. They have not been able to prove any form of documentation, or maybe they were just brainwashed to believe that they can just make any agreement. But one thing they fail to understand is that the Tinubu and even the APC themselves understand that the agreement they hold with the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu family will not stop the movement that their brother have put in place, because there is a structure that governs the movement, the agitation. So if at the end of the day, whatever agreement they even have with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu family holds, it is not binding with the general body of IPOB. So it's going to be a failure on the part of even the Tinubu himself by kind of trying to reach an agreement that is not that does not comprise the entire structure to be able a holistic solution to whatever problem that the country is facing when it comes to the issue of IPOB. And I think that Tinubu have come to realize that fact and have decided to jettison that agreement. Ordinarily, if that agreement was done in a transparent way, well structured and the way it is, I think that the Tinubu administration would have obeyed that agreement that they had. But unfortunately, they did it, in a secret and illegal way that nobody even recognized. So what is happening now is the frustration. And that is why he's now coming out to make posts and to complain and lament, because he's not beginning to feel frustrated with that secret pact that was reached for the fact that Tinubu have failed to recognize that pact. And that is just the truth of the matter. Unfortunately, the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu younger brothers, the siblings, have continued to undermine the structure that their brother have put in place, by so doing, creating problem for themselves and everybody involved. Thank you very much, Precious, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling, and we appreciate you for calling. Thank you so much. All right. Lagos phone lines are still open, 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. That's the number to call. Let's see. Let me go to my WhatsApp messages. Good evening, Precious, and hope you're good. It's like I will go on a short sabbatical course. I can't control this love for your sweet, sharp, and fast voice. My friend, awaken. Wake up from your slumber. And I started since December anymore. That is what I have. That is the contribution I have. Michael from Abaranja. Please, Michael, wake up. Wake up from your sleep. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening, welcome. Sir?
This is my first caller.
This is who? So you help me turn off the volume of our radio set so we can hear you. Hello? No, now you can't be doing this now. If you call, turn off the volume of your radio set so we can hear you. Good evening, Precious and Prince Francis Chilaka. I want to wish you a prosperous new year. Also, I saw you on YouTube. On lighter notes, you were with your eyeglasses like me, Mr. Frederick. Okay, no Nigeria will be surprised if our government approve the 100% increase for the telecom companies. Remember, they slammed about 4% increase on Nigerians. Only God can save us from these people. That's what they said. Okay, good evening, Precious. Okay, I said President of Nigeria is pursuing Igbos for the world. We're pushing Igbos to the world, including Eastern governors. When the battle, I don't understand. No Nigeria infrastructure in the whole southeast, and the current student loan that was.
Comrade Expire Koboko.
Comrade Koboko, how are you doing now?
I'm recuperating.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me very well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Some people are able to spare me for these disturbances. If they want to march, let them march that everything. And if what is everything in 2027, that's number one. Number two, P2B is the leader that we are waiting for. He has given President the 11 advices. Can you hear me? Mr. Tinubu have traveled 32 times from June 2023 to the one where I traveled to South Africa. No investors. Can you hear me? No good road. And not even enough. I can tell you at the keyboard double. No enough for everyone for water. We not be good. We not be good our farm. Starting your belt, have patience. If you want to go to let you go to Nigeria Plateau or go to Catalan or Tinapa or Ebada. We have many things, when we travel and everything. We have 44 natural resources. Everything God will give us, what in America, it never so he should stop traveling. And the next thing is control the country.
So you should travel around Nigeria to see those things he wants to go and see abroad. Make it travel around Nigeria to go see those things where they go see abroad.
We have everything. If you want to go and see America, in New York, it gets of us place. If you want to see cold in Canada, it gets of Plateau. So everything when they abroad, we make it work for us.
Koboko, before your temperature they hot, a person say make I greet you. Somebody say make I greet you, eh? In name na Shegu. Wait now. In name na Shegu Adeniji, the former GM of Women Radio, the BFM. And you know, say I be the GM for the radio station here now, be. You know, say I be the GM for this radio station now. Because if you don't answer this greeting now, we'll go ban you from calling us. So now make I greet you first.
This is not understandable. Sister, let me tell you. Nigeria can glacial. You get me when I ask my customer with the banana. I entered her shop 2 weeks ago. I ran out internet. I was very scared. SMEs are closing down. Are you hearing me? And another one when they tell me from the air. Nothing like the way in Igbo when they born me. When I told my father in Nigeria, I would say, Tell NEPA to come and off light because there was two weeks constant rain. Inside 2 weeks constant light. Inside 7 days rain. But now we are taking NEPA. If we beg NEPA to bring our NEPA go cross country, not factories. They're going to tell you funny. What do we do here? When the air is a criminality from the pit of hell. From the pit of hell. Hello,
All right, so let me go back to that message that made me personally a little bit. Salas from Mesola says, Precious, you are becoming worse, something else these days. In fact, something worse than the devil's advocate. Every time when any of your guests or callers tries to say the obvious truth, visible to the blind and audible to the deaf, I dare say, and those who can see, you always come against it. Where is the evidence? That's what I'll ask, Abi. And then that says, as your guest now gave you more than 5 examples of promises made by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the present government that none was fulfilled, you have now become deaf and dumb. Are you, my brother? You be deaf and dumb in Jesus' name. Not be me and you be deaf and dumb. Eh? You are now worse than P2C for Ambayo or Nanuga put together. Hey God, it is me you're giving this buzz on a Friday night. No messing. Good evening, Precious and Prince Francis Chilaka. My submission on 2 refinery. How beautiful is it? Truth is far from what is going on. God will help us. That's what you said. All right, let me go back to the calls. I'll get back to your messages soon too. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello, are you there? Hello, sir? Hello?
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Welcome, sir. I can hear you. I'm answering you. Happy New Year. Can you hear me? Can you help me increase the voice, the volume of your voice? That is, give your voice less more. You understand?
It's okay.
Huh?
It's okay.
It's not okay. It's very faint too, so we can barely hear you. If you're in the bedroom now, move to the parlor and give it parlor voice.
Hello.
You've moved to the parlor now. Yes, you're welcome. Go ahead, brother.
Huh?
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you now. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. They greet to everybody here in the house.
Everybody, they greet you too.
Please, I greet everybody. You know, everything will happen for this Nigeria now. Where it's I just look for this for fellow brother. We talk to one reason, brother. We're okay for that. The guy not do mistake because he want to read because he is a arrangement. You know, sometimes when people are doing things to be okay, some people are criticizing them, but it's over. This boy is fighting for his brother, and we all are fighting for the man. You know, my name is Pat Chibo from Ladybug.
Okay.
I greet what you are. I love what you are doing in your station. You know, I'm always calling. So sometimes you don't pick my call.
Oh, sorry. It cannot be deliberate.
I greet you guys. I don't have anything more to say. Let Nigeria be good. When Nigeria is good, we enjoy it.
Thank you.
When Nigeria is not good, you cannot enjoy it. So I thank you, everybody. I thank you.
Thank you so much.
I don't hear you very well, but I will cut from here before I repeat that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, going back to my messages. Gabriel from Ikorodu says, Mr. Chilaka, please don't you ever think that these pastors that we have now are men of God are called to fulfill God's mandates, not political mandates. If a man of God disgraces or disagrees from what he is called, or digresses rather from what he is called to do, anything that happens to him, he is on his own. John the Baptist left his calling and started interfering with political matters. That cost him his life. God's calling differs. Some are called as evangelists, pastors, teachers, apostles, and prophets. It's only prophets that are that have the wherewithal to rebuke people in government. In the absence of prophets, God can send servants of His. There will be trouble when one goes without being sent. When people talk about men of God, there are many things they don't understand about the men of God. You want to respond?
I'm happy somebody is speaking up.
Okay.
It is the same men of God that you just talked about that went about declaring fasting and prayer for politicians. It is still the same men of God who went about predicting, prophesying. Some even told us how God had spoken to them in their bedroom. So they were, at that point in time, were they not interfering in politics? It is this man of God who prayed for the politicians. It is also this man of God who preached to people and tell them to obey authority, even when they know that authority is not adding value to their lives. Well, let me tell you, guy, if you don't understand the Bible, go and ask, go and check what liberation theology is all about. When you finish studying what liberation theology is all about, you can come back to me.
Okay. All right then. Going back to messages, and then before we get back to the calls, good evening. My name is Taiwo from Igbo. The accidental killing by the military is becoming too much. Does it mean that men of professional skills who could make accurate strike are no longer in the military? Also, Boko Haram is killing defenseless people of Nigeria needlessly almost every day, and the unknown gunmen in the east are adding to the pains by killing harmless people of the southeast and even killing men of God. Why are these people thirsty for blood like this? It's quite unfortunate. God will definitely judge everyone accordingly. That's what you said. And then he says, happy birthday. Thank you. Precious, thank you. Please, Shawore should go to his local government area to contest. What does Shawore do here? Councillorship, and stop attacking P2B here and there. P2B visit Afe Babalola, Obi visit IBB, Obi visits P2B visit Jonathan. Did he borrow money from Shawari? Calm down. I don't even read Shawari matter for this place. Why is it bothering Shawari? Nigerians are wise. He cannot destroy P2B's image with childish ideas. He should present his CV to the president for mentoring and be monitoring. Obi. Hey, his CV for monitoring Obi Abi Chikeze from Ago Palace. Let me go back to calls. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, precious. Good
sir,
evening.
Welcome, sir.
Well done. And the prince in the house. So I say God will bless you now. I've been sent from Amuward of Estate.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well done. See, please, first of all, when you say for somebody's school is collecting 40 million for this,
42 million.
It's not good. It's not going to, after training all those children, so are they going to now doing airplane and all those cars we are buying from China, India, and this thing?
Some schools, they will be safe, even calculate their school fees if you pass like that, sir.
Why I'm saying this, that is not the when you go there that you have a knowledge, you that is in that place now, you do school, that kind of school, are you not doing what you're supposed to do? So all these things is wasting of money sometimes. When you have enough money, you can be misusing it anyhow you want to misuse it, but this is not the knowledge we are looking for. And again, I want to talk. There's where P2B said the Tulumbu should travel. He should stop traveling to taking medical outside the country. For me, he cannot tell a man, even doctor. If I take my wife to hospital, unless my wife wants the doctor to tell me what it is, and then where the doctor will say. So Tulumbu has a right to go where.
But going by, asking you, Miss Innocence, going by the way other countries that we emulate and always talk about operate. Have you seen the president of any other country? France, that we go to, US, that we always talk about, UK. Have you seen their leaders go to any other outside the shores of their country for treatment? Please tell us.
That is where the leaders are not doing mistakes, including P2B, because if you have P2B have ruled Anambra State for 8 years. I will say to them, if you don't have where to go to for the last hospital I did in Anambra State. Go there and take care of yourself. It will be shame to our president. But if he did not have something like that to provide, mean that two of them are the same.
Okay, sir. So I'm going to cut in here. So don't forget that every year you have a budget for the clinic.
Yeah.
Asoro
clinic. You know,
is also for human being.
Do you know?
Nigerians are the problem.
No.
Now Nigeria write the budget. Now Nigeria they put the Asoro clinic for budget every time.
Let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you what you don't know. There is time they say if Buhari said they should give dollars to people like us that is doing some this thing. You know that I put it in your brother's bank. One of your brother's banks is your brother, River State man that has that bank. I put my this thing. Everything I have doing business over 30 years. I have all the Indians and Chinas I bring to Nigeria to produce things. But these people did not give me dollar. Only when I now go and know why the secret is that I have to share I do my BVN and everything, they will gather the money and now share it and take 70% of that profit and give me only 30. That is when every week they call me that they have $50,000, $100,000 is rate, and I want. So for you to see that is not, Buhari have said what he said though, but this common bankers have now.
So you get to remind me, say my brother said from River State follow the corrupt Abi.
No, why I'm saying this, maybe he doesn't know it's not aware, but at least it's also severe. Yes. So why am I saying this now? We should understand. Like,
but the problem is that should it continue like that? That's the question. That's exactly what Chilaka is asking. Prince Francis Chilaka is asking. If, for instance, I'm coming. So let me land. If, for instance, consistently we've budgeted for Aso Rock Clinic, even Bajabi Amela told us that the equipment there now is good enough for that it's now top notch and of up to good standard. Why can't we? I'm coming. Oh God, wait. You go wait. Make I talk. Not vex, eh? Now maybe the host. Not vex. Make I talk. And we have that much of a standard hospital. Now it is cheaper for us to bring in any expert doctor abroad to Nigeria to come and treat our leaders in that hospital in Aso Rock than it would be for our president to fly out to any country. Do you know how much you spend on the flight every day as it is waiting for the president in that country? It is more expensive for the nation. So are you saying that if Buhari did it, Jonathan did it, that it should continue, that we should be spending money renovating Aso Rock Clinic, but our heads of state will not use it or presidents will not use it, and they will still travel out for medical tourism? Is it good? I'm asking you.
That is where now you people is doing good things by telling or making them to know that all these things they are doing. But do you know that it's also like that Nigerians are costly? I know when they come in River State to come and supply things for the offices of the governor and others for the things, the same Nigerians, not the governor, and we gang against you to put whatever they want to pack that place and say this is.
Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Now the question be that.
Some Nigerians are doing it. 80% of it is Nigerians.
And the question is that if we took the tough decision to remove subsidy that no other president has had the audacity to do, why can we not take the tough decision to also shut down most of those profligacies? That's the question. Why should we buy cars every day in our budget? Why should we buy spoons every year in our budget? Why should we buy cars, renovate Aso Rock every year in our budget? Why do we not have a leader who will just stop all those things and say, no, these things are not perishable, cannot be putting them every year in our budget?
Sir? Sister, let me ask you one thing. You have a house where you live. Every year, are you not spending for certain things? I know maybe what they are budgeting is too much. My house and their own house, are you not spending in for certain things? People that clean the curtains, people that do this, some marble that is broken, their kitchen cabinet, all these things.
So now wait till make you go to buy spoons, fork, renovation of house every day. Every year they renovate, every year they buy spoons, every year they buy computer, every year they buy AC, every year they buy fridge. Guy innocence. Innocence. I just tell you, say, so it did for our budget, and this is not unique to this administration alone. It's been in Nigerian budgets that we repeat most of those things yearly in our budget. But is it necessary? Can we not have the mind to stop it, like we stopped the subsidy? That's the point. Did you not hear when Rufai's son mentioned it, that spoons don't decay, they don't perish, computers don't spoil every year, they are not perishable. So why should we be buying them every year? Should we buy cars for Aso Villa every year? But that's what's happening. Okay, no, you don't go. Hello?
Is it Tulumbu?
You say waiting.
Who is in charge of Aso expenses? Who is in charge of Aso?
Is it not the president that submitted the budget to is it not the president that submitted the budget to House of Assembly, to National Assembly? Now me submit the budget. Who go deliver the budget? Who go deliver the budget? Who deliver the budget? No, what's in the inside.
Please ask Bajabi Amila to come and explain. Not president.
Oh yeah, come and be going. Bye. Thank you, Mr. Innocent. Hello, good evening and welcome. I want to say something.
No, the problem is that sometimes people, in their bidding trying to defend anomalies, they just get confused.
Do they?
Yes, they get confused.
Oh wow.
The hardest job for anybody to do is to defend the Nigerian government. Be it the past or the present, is always difficult because we are saying one thing in defense, the government is doing another thing. He's talking of budget. He's not telling you it's not Mr. President, but Mr. President is the one who submits the budget. He's also
so
the
you
one
ought to have done a thorough check.
He's also the one who assents to the budget. So I don't understand.
All right. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hi, Precious.
Hello.
And Prince, I greet you.
I greet you.
This is Remy.
Oh, Remy, you're welcome. Very quickly. Go ahead, please.
Please, don't waste your energy on these people. You can sense mischief from all he's saying. It's so clear. It's not as if he doesn't understand what you are saying, though. But they are the most dangerous set of people. They will see as in what is light to be light, and they'll try to gaslight things is not light, it's black. But they will gaslight you to make you believe. You know the logic kind of. Imagine how they become when they try to defend the.
All right, Remy, apologies. The network will not let us hear you. Apologies. All right, so let me go back to my messages. My message box is full. Chike is here from Agopala says Jonathan did the borrow money from shop. Okay, all right. Oh dear. Good evening, Precious and Prince Chilaka. Lekon from Okaba. This is you, Dayo from Fagba. You know you. I know your handwriting. Nigerians are the most hardworking people in the world and very resourceful. But what we have is lack of capacity. Low grade mind, wasteful, visionless, taskmasters, opportunities that enter through cash and carry. I say I know your handwriting. I know your handwriting. If you like, type them. I know the handwriting. If APC is deceiving themselves, I cannot deceive myself because the reform is deceiving themselves. I cannot deceive myself because the reform is not reforming. Okay, I commend Peter for his thoughtful suggestions to President Tinubu. I encourage him to continue offering constructive advice. However, it's disappointing to note that government regulators have fallen short in fulfilling their duties to the Nigerian people. Ultimately, those in government must remember that they are accountable to the people, and will one day answer the higher authority, which is God. And Prince, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Good evening, Precious and Able Prince C. It's very unfortunate that we have this kind of people ruling this government. One thing that I know is that both the rich and the poor is going to die one day. Nobody is going to stay here forever. God is watching and taking records on how the leaders are inflicting pains and hardship on the poor. Precious, I greet you and Prince Chilaka. Talking about Nnamdi Kanu's brother and Tinubu's son, did they involve IPOB? Did they put it in writing? If not, Precious, I bet you Tinubu and his son that I know, he said, OBJ when OBJ became president in 1999, he revitalized Aso Clinic and he took most of his medical treatments in Nigeria. When OBJ was rumored dead, he said, "I dey Kankpe from Nigerian hospital." The current politician, he said, "I dey Kankpe from Nigerian hospital." The current politicians are after themselves. It's working for them because psychophancy is peak to the masses and are divided amongst ethnic and religious lines. Well, you said a lot. I appreciate you, Amechi. Oh, wow. Please, if you sent me a lengthy message, forgive me. I may not be able to read it. Thank you so much for your wishes. Akiniro Kingsley. Frankly speaking, the news of proposed 100% increase of tariff is a proof that this present government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has no good agenda for Nigeria. This government is full of telling us that citizens lack of accountability, not minding what the innocent Nigerians are passing through. I challenge President Tinubu to tour around Nigeria's state and see the level of pains, tears, and hunger on the people. However, on Kalonta's younger brother, Kano, well, you said a lot. I appreciate you. Unfortunately, I have to run. Prince Chilaka is on upset spree. Please spare your precious gem to read the story. She's just a messenger of journalism. Hey, Biko Faulkner is begging on my behalf. Also remember, PhD holders are helping politicians rig elections. Shabina them and professors. Okay, that's what this I should tell you. Precious and Chilaka, any government and APC so-called chieftain and bigwig that is not receiving obese in the year that snapped big picture. Oh, thank you so much. I didn't realize that. Oh, wow, it's you? When the oh wow, thank you so much. I didn't realize it. Precious, oh thank you so much. And then Bad PG from Oshodi says, dear pretty Precious, please pity and pardon me, even as it pained me that day. for not being able to wish you happy birthday. Oh no, I forgive you. Nah, not even forgive self. I not think I'm self. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, Babeji. You don't pass now. That day don't pass. Gongo. Became faulty. Oh, sorry. So sorry, Babeji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Oh God, my message box is so full. I wonder if I can attend to a few more messages and a few more calls before we wrap up. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can take a few calls. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Yes, welcome, sir.
Hello. My name is Onwukwe.
You're welcome. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Agbado.
Okay, so your name is what?
Womano.
Womano. Go ahead.
I thank you very much. I thank Chida. I want to ask one question. You know, the corruption. So the thing in this country is very different. Ask me what. If you go to church now, people, if you ask the Yahoo, that will be present. Everybody like Yahoo. 90% of people
I no agree. I no believe in a 90%. I no agree. I no believe in a 90%, my brother.
The money they are having, instead of building a port, instead of them to build railways, they are building a port for business. What are we talking about? Today, yes. When you look at the country, the poverty. Now, I have another question to ask. One person and Obi.
Few more messages. Okay, Babeji from Osheri said, did Ghana get so bad before J. Rawlings did the needful? Likewise, Burkina Faso, Niger eating rest future. Mark my words. That's what you said. What's your name again? Bearing on a predicament. Nigerian problem is Nigerians. Nobody is exceptional. Today is at today sit at home. Is it what? Today sit at home is prevailing in the southeast. Talk is cheap. Charity begins at home. That's what he says. So on that note, I'd like you to take your parting shot before we get off.
Oh, my parting shot. It's really painful when you look at the current state of things in this country. And it becomes more painful when those you believe should know better pretend and lie to themselves that all is well. Nobody loves Nigeria more than Nigerians. Nigeria more than Nigerians. And I've said it severally that Nigeria has all the parameters of a failed state, but for the resilience of the people. And it is the people that are holding this country together. Government needs to realize that and work towards ensuring that there's enabling environment for the people to survive. Things are really going tough, make sacrifices and be patient. The government needs to do the needful.